Okay, this is a second update video for Coming Over, which is my games proposal project for the University of Central Lancashire, or my games design course. So I can't remember what I showed last time, so for now I'll just show you a quick video. So I've been messing around with some of the visuals a little bit. We've got the radio and we've got a scanner, which is a new addition, which is gonna, because it'll be really difficult to know when signals are incoming. Like you won't know what station to go to, or frequency, sorry. So it would have been really difficult otherwise. So I introduced a scanner, which will basically, if there's some, I'm not sure I'll do it for all broadcasts, but maybe an important broadcast, this will happen. So it says there's an incoming transmission on this frequency, so you can change to that frequency and know and hear it. So yeah, that will pop up every time. Every time there's something important going on. What I've mainly been working on is a script for 3 days of it, which is basically I just listed down the events and what effects and consequences some of the decisions a player may have. But over the 3 days, mainly it will be about the government trying to attack Pecora. So right now it's being held by the revolters, and they have to go in there. So the first day may just be first day maybe you have to just move around some of your units. So you'll be given orders to say move unit 1 and 2 over into position, so move them over to 110 by 20 or something in latitude. So you'll be given that in this memo. You'll be given in here, it will list your task and what you need to do, and it'll say move these units here. And basically every day you'll get a certain amount of tasks from your government, but if you don't do them, the suspicion raises of them. But that won't be the only thing that happens during the day. So there'll be events that occur throughout the day, which you can decide to deal with using what you have to. So, for example, you've been given this special ID, which 2 units will respond to, but you're only supposed to use that to move the units into position. But as you're doing this throughout the day, an event occurs, say over here, civilians are under attack from the militia or whatever. You can decide to leave that, but then casualties will increase, won't they? So you can, if you're smart, you can then use the units you just moved over and send them over to there to actually help them defend the civilians, and that will result in less casualties and stuff like that. And depending on how you do it, what sender ID you use and all this sort of stuff, then suspicion will be raised or not be raised. So for example, in the first one there'll be like 3 or 4 listed sender IDs. It kind of makes sense because there's going to be multiple radio operators who you don't know. You'll never meet them, but they're just listed there because it's a copy and it's sent to everyone. So if you're smart, you'll realise you shouldn't use your sender ID, otherwise they'll know it was you who sent the units over. So you can use one of the other ones and move the units over to this position, and then the next day they'll realise that they've been doing that, so they'll only list your sender ID. But after a while it will just become events like that. So yeah, I've been working on the script for 3 days, and what's going to happen is it mainly will teach you how to play, and there'll be an event, and the whole 3 days will be a build up for the attack on Pecora, which you do that. And so there'll be different events, may involve using the newspaper or contact everyone else. So functionality wise, I haven't done too much. I've just done more visual stuff. So you can now rotate your objects, which I need to work on, because right now it can get a bit glitchy like that. So again, I need to work on this and make it work better. It's going to be a bit difficult because I'm not too sure how I can fix it. Maybe just set the velocity to 0 or something. I've also I've added a little seal. So the place is called Prosovko. A Russian-y name, and there's a seal. It's crazy. So I've added sort of more detail onto the radio itself. Anyway, I've changed the buttons around so you've got this sort of thing, and this can now tell you a frequency. I might change it so it, instead of this dial, it'll just have a sort of digital way of showing you. Because right now, this seems a bit difficult to read, and it's kind of difficult to lay them out properly because it doesn't exactly line up well. So I mean, that's on 140 right now, even though it should be 150. I think, yeah, 150. So I'll need to work on that again. Oh, end of day one. And yeah, I've set it so the date changes now. You can track that. I haven't set anything to reset though. I want the day to change once you like everything to reset, so your coffee will come back to normal, even though it usually doesn't. Oh, your coffee will refill, even though it doesn't right now. Yeah, on the radio I've worked out how it's going to happen. So you'll get a set list response. So this is no, this is yes. May work on the symbols again. This is send a data form, which is one of these things, which is basically the main way you're going to give orders or send information to people. It's just, I designed it like that because otherwise it would be way too open for responses and stuff. So I would not be able to list every possible way of speaking. So I've limited it to this data form. So they may say a question through the radio, so you can answer yes or no, and then they'll respond to it. Or they say like, we need help, can you send it? And then you can say yes, and then they may give you more information to fill it. Or you've got this one in the corner, which is basically just, can you repeat that? And depending on the urgency or whatever situation, it will be repeated. And then this is the basic interaction to see if anyone's there. So you may hear there's a frequency, or like this is a frequency that people work on. We'll do something, so you'll go here, but you don't hear anyone, so you can come in over and see if anyone responds to that. I'll need to create a system depending on who you say you are. So you can say come in over and nobody responds unless you send the correct sender ID maybe. I don't know, that's something I need to work on again. But yeah, so generally the project's going well, I think. I just need to get the functionality of the signals and all this sort of stuff coming in. I've got a schedule here which I need to continue on to. So in 4 days time I will hopefully have finished this section, and then I will start working on the signals and events and the actual functionality and gameplay of it. And that's going to be pretty difficult, so I've given myself a lot of time for that. Depending on some of the complexities, I could probably get half of this stuff done way before that, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, right now my problem I'm having is the camera controls. I need to work out how to do that, and the pickup manipulation where I can rotate it, because right now that's, I'm not happy with it. I just put completed there for the sake of having something looking like it's completed. Oh, so I'll be working on that a bit, adding onto that a bit more. So yeah, I've also added this, so you can add notes onto the text. So right, does and then a text come up, which I need to go to more. So yeah, you can add little useful hints for yourself, which is definitely going to be useful. And then you can move the whole thing itself. But yeah, so these pins will be used. You can also add a sort of that. I still need to work on it because it's so buggy. You can see there, it's meant to follow my mouse, so I hold down the click button and let go, and then it should spawn there facing that direction, but it does not work. It's difficult to get it functioning. So yeah, not too much else has been done. I've worked on the visuals a bit more, but everything else is relatively the same. Oh look, at it. I just pressed the button. I'm just joking. So yeah, you can see how I'm starting to see how it all is going to come together and start functioning. And I'm pretty excited for where it's going, really. I think it should be really unique. I've said that about my own project though, so I won't take it too seriously. What else can I show you? I think that's mainly it. It's another update for how it's going. You can see a cigarette particle again, which I really don't like. It all fades out properly, which is good, but yeah, it does not look real. Art-wise, like, I was going for an art style, which I may need to reinforce at some point, because right now I'm not really seeing much of an art style, and everything's like solid and clean. I was gonna go for 50s sort of propaganda ad stuff, so similar to that. I was gonna go for that sort of style somehow. I can't draw, so it's gonna be very difficult to get it looking like everything's sort of painted and faded colours and all this, and everyone's, you know, way too happy for what they are. But yeah, so that'll be difficult to actually implement. I'll start working around that, and I probably will change it because I don't think that art style will particularly suit it. But I want to see where it can go, see if I can get it. And also, that's sort of an American thing. It's based in Russia, and so I don't think I can keep that. I'm gonna have to make it more Russian-esque. Also, if you were paying attention, the lighting's completely messed up. So right now it's blocky for some reason, and it looks very strange. And it comes with walls as well. It's important. So that's another thing I'm gonna have to work on. Maybe add some more, but for now, I think like the room's been populated enough. May add some small little details somewhere, but more or less it looks like the meshes, so it should be fine. Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much everything. Unless you want to just watch it go to the next day, because that's all you can get when you wait. Yeah, so thanks for watching.